All right, welcome to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. We have a great episode today. This is something we're doing that's super brand new. This is a live and in-person show. We have a fun guest here, Amy. Amy, I'm sorry, I don't know your last name.
That's right, Amy Livingston.
Amy Livingston.
Mm-hmm.
This is a unique thing because Amy is we're on the same weightlifting team. Mm-hmm. And I would say it was probably 4 weeks ago. I'm walking out of training and I was like, hey, good job. And then we kind of talked for a second and you said something to me that was really interesting about how you entered into weightlifting.
Yeah.
But before we do all that, I kind of want to just talk about where you grew up, how I guess eventually the sport of weightlifting came to you.
Oh man. Okay.
You can go as far back long as you want. You could stay shallow. I don't whatever you feel comfortable with.
So I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
So I was born and raised there.
Okay.
And then I moved to Portland in 2009. And so I've kind of lived in both places almost about the same amount of time.
Yeah, kind of, right, yeah.
So, and then I moved here for a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then I just am kind of a stubborn person. And I was like, I can still make it here. I don't have to go back home,
Love that.
And
Love that.
So I stayed and then, so it's kind of been like a rocky road, actually, that interim time, my 20s and early 30s was harder. And I actually found weightlifting after I went to treatment for alcohol.
Excellent.
So that's kind of, if I were to pick, how did you find weightlifting? That's definitely the sliding door.
The sliding doors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good thing in the sense of what treatment brings, right? It's all about and I don't know a ton about it, but I have a couple people in my life that have gone through treatment and I've trained them, or I'm just like, hey, show up to my garage and we're going to work out 1 to 2 days a week. So I can at least show you how to build a healthy routine.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how it started, or was it just I need a change in life?
No, I think so. After treatment did propel the I need to change my life. And it wasn't even necessarily because of alcohol, but it was oh, I want to change everything.
Right.
So I got divorced, I quit my job, I got new friends, I changed everything.
Nice.
Kind of. Which I think is why I did so good.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's why why things worked out is because of you can only grow as much as your environment allows. Right. And so I changed it all.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, weightlifting wasn't necessarily oh, I didn't know I needed it.
Right.
And so it really was because my puffy ass was in treatment and people came to the treatment center.
Yeah.
And there was one coach in particular, Emily, and she would just say you're so strong.
Nice.
Look at you. Look at you go, Yeah. And it was because of that I was oh my God, am I? Maybe. I didn't believe it, but I was she does.
Yeah.
And so then after that, I went to this CrossFit gym called the Recovery Gym. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think I have. This sounds familiar, but
okay.
No.
So there's a recovery gym. It's in Portland.
Okay. And
they have 2 locations, one in Hillsborough and one in Southeast Portland. And so I went there trying to find Emily because I was this bitch made an impact on my life. Honestly, I was man, she told me I was so strong.
Right.
And I didn't know what I was doing because before that, I didn't do any sports.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to ask you. Was are you naturally athletic? Because you sure do move like it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe,
yeah.
But I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because the most sports I ever did was soccer in 3rd grade.
Yeah. Wow.
Soccer in elementary
incredible.
school.
Yeah.
And then I did, because I lived in Utah, I did do snowboarding a few seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely nothing more than that.
Wow.
No.
All right.
No. So I was not a sports person. It did not come naturally in that sense of oh, I didn't know moving would feel that good. I didn't know.
Yeah. So you really just was like, I'm going to go into this, and this person is giving kind of positive affirmations. Totally. And so I'm going to go into this, and maybe it'll be a positive thing.
Totally.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Did you find Emily?
I did. I did. Well, so I went there, and so she had actually stopped working there right as I started going.
Okay.
But luckily, I loved it, so I was able to stay. But I did still find her, and now we're still best friends.
Oh,
and
excellent.
Yes. And so now I don't think she'll ever get rid of me.
No, that's great. I mean, as the best friend should, right?
But like I went, and I think the biggest thing that I found, and so I was only at the recovery gym for about, I don't know, maybe at most like 6 months, going like twice a week.
Yeah.
Being a single mom, I couldn't go to the gym that easily.
Right.
So
adulting.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I was there for about 6 months, and then I was like, oh, but this barbell thing though.
Yeah.
So that's what changed it. But I think I learned quick that when I became physically strong, I became mentally strong. And that was like, that's what made the biggest difference. And that's what kept me, was I was like, oh my goodness, like I can feel it, not just physically, because getting strong is really fucking cool. And that feels really good.
It is.
But I was like, oh my goodness, like decisions in my life are easier to make. And going through this horrendous divorce is easier because I am moving my body and I feel stronger, and like, okay, I can, like, I pushed it here, so I can push it there. Is kind of how it feels. Well,
it's interesting because it's something I talk about a lot, and I use it in terms of like, this makes life easier. Yeah. And it just makes it 1% easier. Yeah. Whether it's strength and you have to move something, or it's an emotional thing that you're going through, because on that platform, and I know you deal with this, but on that platform, first of all, you have to pull your body underneath incredible amounts of weight, regardless of what's on that bar. It's an incredible amount of weight to put over your head and to make the decision to dive under that bar.
Totally.
So that right there takes courage. It takes confidence. And anytime you practice those kinds of emotional things, like, you're only going to get better, right? And we practice them almost 3, 4, 5 days a week sometimes. So it's like, and I think that's a part of weightlifting, or really any sport, but I'm going to stick to weightlifting because I have a partial to it.
And it's the only one I know. So,
I know, right? It's this sense that like, we're practicing for life. We're practicing for the hard things of life. And that might be taking it a little bit deep and far, but to me, it makes sense. And it sounds like it's kind of what led you to all this. And like, it's incredible to hear. And now let's fast forward a little bit to this first competition you were telling me about, where you signed up and no coach, no nothing, just walked in, lifted, or how did that go?
Yeah. So Emily and I would train, and we would train on Sundays together, and we would call it church. Oh, and so we would do it, and we would just, at that point, we were just doing snatch and clean and jerk. Yeah. That's what we were doing. Yeah. And I just was like, oh man, I really love this. And we like did this like fundraiser weightlifting one.
Oh, cool.
So it was so my first one was like, just like a fundraiser. Yeah. And I was like, and that's what I was like, this is so cool. Right. You know? Yeah. And so then after I did that one, I like my therapist in treatment is like, Amy, man, you really like run towards your fear. Yeah. So if I'm scared of something, I'm like, well, I'm going to face it. Yeah. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to wait to do a weightlifting competition until I'm like ready. I didn't even know. Yeah. And so I had been practicing in my garage. Okay. Just by myself, just like watching YouTube videos. Yeah. Yeah. And then, went on Sundays with Emily, and then I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to do like the real thing. And so, I just found through Google, I found out what USAW was. And
that's awesome.
Then I like looked at their website, and I was like, okay, well, that meet's coming up. And so I picked it. And then I went, and then luckily there was just a really nice coach there that was already going to be there and was willing to count for me.
Oh,
but I didn't know. But I didn't know you needed someone to count.
Yeah, I know, right?
didn't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember that coach?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it someone local or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so, because I didn't know at all that you needed someone to count for you. I was just going to go show up.
You're just going to show up and get out
which
there.
one. Yeah. And it was like, oh, I know what weight I'm going to start at.
Yeah.
And I kind of got I knew like the idea is like, oh, with first, second, third, you kind of pick. I had, but yeah, so like my first snatch on like a sanctioned platform was with like the big whites, like the 5.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, yeah.
That's great.
So when people are like, oh, I'm not good enough to start, like my first one was, I don't know, like 28 kilos maybe.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, okay. And so then you went through that competition and you came out the other side and you're like, I'm doing this more.
Yeah.
So is that kind of the point in which you like sought out a team, or were you kind of like just nomading it for a little bit?
So I was kind of done nomading it because I was like, oh, I need someone to like tell me what to do here.
Right.
So I went to a few places around Portland that I like tested out. So I went to one, did like a drop in, whatever.
Yeah.
I talked to another coach, and so I did like talk to a few, and then Emily was like, hey, so there's a guy named, I think his name's Joe. I saw him at a competition, and he just like screams really hard for his athletes. And so I think she was like, I think he would be really fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, like, and so we like figured out who he was. And she was like, yeah, it was at some meet, years ago. She was like, yeah, he just screams like, let's fuck him. And she was like, he sounds like he'd be fun.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so that's how I found Joe. And so I reached out to him on Instagram, and he immediately that day was like, let's chat. Yeah. And I told him what I wanted, and and
ever since, you just been rocking it. That's such a cool story because, a lot of, well, first of all, the majority of weightlifters are coming in through this sport of CrossFit. And the reason why I found yours so unique is because you never did CrossFit.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Or did you?
Well, I did. I mean,
it was at the church or whatever.
It was. So I did do CrossFit for like 3 months.
No. Okay.
So it's not like that beautiful. I wish it would be just that seamless, but no. It was through the recovery gym. It wasn't like not like. CrossFit.
It was a version. HIIT class, like
correct. Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
And so, but I didn't mind like the speed of it. That was cool, but it was like this barbell thing though.
Oh yeah.
And so I made the switch, and then I after that I immediately built a platform in my garage. And
isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You can do that in the sport.
I know. Yeah. Well, and then I just and I did it all by myself.
Yeah.
Like I went and got those 4 stall mats.
Which are incredibly difficult to move, by the way. If anybody who's never moved those,
they're so heavy. Yeah.
Really.
So I guess I did still find it through CrossFit, but not in the same way as I think where I do see it more now, like what you're talking about, where they're like, oh, I've been doing CrossFit for 7, 13, and then I'm going to just compete.
Here we go. Yeah. I mean, I know that's how I found the sport.
Okay.
I was doing CrossFit, and then I became like, I started running a CrossFit gym, and then it was like that gym, the owner said, you know what, we're going to sell and go back to Brazil. Thank you.
Okay.
Producer. Thank you. Brazil. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And so I went to a big Globo gym, and I ended up meeting my first coach there, and he introduced the sport to me.
Okay.
It was 12 days in, I went up for a snatch. This elbow went that way. And so I was going up for some incredible amount of weight that I probably shouldn't have been touching. Yeah. And it was like the chicken wing sound when you break a chicken, and then my elbow just popped out.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So 12 days in, it was quite the, oh God, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And everybody around me was like, you don't need to be doing this sport. You need to chill out.
Sure.
Chill out. Yeah. And I'm like, No.
It's not. That's all it takes.
You know, and I don't know if you've dealt with any injury, but like a major injury is a very psychological thing.
For sure.
It's like, I'm never going to be able to do this ever again. I'm never going to be able to lift or even be exercised.
Doomsday immediately.
Doomsday.
Yeah.
So I was determined at that point where I said, you know what, hey, we're going to do this. So I squatted for a year basically on a safety bar.
Oh,
you know what the safety bars are?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I did that. And then I eventually, once I got this out of, I don't know, it was just a compression sleeve. I started snatching with one arm.
Okay.
And it was just a barbell. Okay. Nothing crazy. You know? And then I finally figured out that I could move this one. And I was like, all right, let's do this. Okay. And I had to build from the bottom all the way up. And, you know, we each have these cool stories about the journey, but what really fosters these really positive experiences in our life is this sport. Yeah. And I think there's something really special about that. You know, I mean, you can't do it alone, right? No. And you know, Joe, he's such a good dude. Yeah. Like he is a good person all around. And I've had him on the show a bunch. Yeah. And we're going to be doing some more stuff, but like, talk about your relationship with him. Okay. And, you know, how that's really helped you grow in the sport. Yeah.
So I think why I kind of fell in love with Joe immediately. Yeah, like after, I mean, he definitely like is not I think because I am a little stubborn and like have a little gumption that like, you know, because like I want to like train hard, you know, but I did fall in love with him immediately because I did like test out these other people. Right. And granted, I was a baby. Like I'd been weightlifting for 4 months when I signed up for my first competition. So I didn't know what I was doing, you know. And so when I started on with Joe, I'd been weightlifting like 5 months, you know. And so I went to these other people and I had lifted with other coaches and things like that. And I would get some like, oh, nice. Or, you know, like, oh, good, you know, which I was like, I know I'm not. I'm like, so, you're like, no. Yeah. Nah. And so, but what it was though about Joe, is because I don't have a lot of self-confidence. Right. I'm getting better for sure, but I don't, and especially being so new, that when I sent in like my maybe like the first week or so video reviews. Yeah. And it was like, find your max 5-rep back squat, you know? And so I sent him one that I thought was a 5-rep back, you know, like my 5-rep max. Yes, you go. And he just was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is not your 5-rep max. Oh, so like meaning you could do more. Yes. He was like, absolutely not. There is more. Okay. There is more. Okay. And so I think it was like, because I was doing pounds at the beginning, so I remember I sent in my 5-rep max at like 155. Okay. And he just watched and was like, nope, there's more. Yeah. You can absolutely do more. Yeah. And so then the next week I did 180 for nice. And that's why I just was like, oh man. And it just meant so much because other people had seen me squat and no one was like, you can do more, you know? And so ever since that of like someone just being like, you know, looking at me and being like, I've got you. Yeah. And that's what I feel like. That's cool. You know? So that's cool. You know, I met Joe through a friend that used to run. So do you remember CrossFit PE by any chance? Mm-mm. Okay. So CrossFit PE was on the other side of the Ross Island Bridge. Anyways, the gym owner there, her name was Lori. I met her through CrossFit. And then she was like she owned one of the first CrossFit gyms in Portland and was just well known in the CrossFit world. Yeah. Well, come COVID, I needed a place to train. Okay. I lived in a smaller condo. I didn't have a garage. I was trying to lift at like parks. I would literally throw my stuff in the back in my car and just drive to a park. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was like I got to lift and then I got to load this up in my car. Yeah, yeah. But you know, I met Joe through her, and Joe was like, "Hey, buddy, come lift with us anytime you want." And I was on a team then, and I was like, "Okay. Cool, I'll do that, yeah." And then we became friends. And my biggest thing with this, that I was like,
Joe, I like you as a friend. I never want you as a coach because I don't want it to ruin the friendship. And he was like, hey, I get it.
Yeah.
But he was like, it was just gradual. Hey, what are you doing these days? Not much. Whose team are you on? Nobody's right now. Let's do this. And that was last year. And boy, you know, he's just a really, the thing I love about him is that, like, in the very first moment I figured this out with him, I was like hooked. I was 6 weeks into his programming, and the new first 6 weeks of his programming is hard. I don't care what programming you've gone through. This first 6 weeks of him is difficult. You're learning a new system. You're learning new movements. You're learning new complexes. And I called him up and I was like, dude, I don't know if I can go to nationals. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I am missing everything. I am dropping everything. I've never done this before. I've never missed 80 kilos, Joe. What is going on? And he just said to me very simply, it's okay. This is where you're supposed to be. We will be fine. Just keep positivity. Talk to me if you need to. I'll see you in Idaho. And I'm just like, that I've never had anybody talk to me in a positive way like that. It's always been like, Matt, pull your shit up, let's go. Right. But it was like he understood. That's what I love about that guy. He understands. And we're talking about him because that's kind of our commonality here. But he's just this really nurturing and caring person. And I understand why you say I fell in love with him. That makes sense. So I'm going to back up a little bit. You said, and ask you how long it took you to start counting in kilos versus pounds, because it took me forever and I still mess up.
Well, it was because I bought a set of kilo plates off Joe the fall after I joined him. So almost like exactly a year. Then I sold all my pound plates on Craigslist.
Nice.
Because I bought everything off Craigslist. And then I sold it back on there.
Nice. Good work.
Kilos. So about a year into it is when I switched.
Okay. And so I think I might have said something to you a couple of weeks ago about this, but I see him as colors.
Yes.
Because I have a training partner we don't train much anymore, but he used to come over and he was notorious for being like, hold on, looking at both sides. Okay, you're good. I would literally not put plates on. Sure. I don't know about you, but when I get into it, I don't want to count. I don't want to think about it. I just want to.
Yes.
I want, because I don't ever take that psyche of going onto the bar lightly. It is something that, and hurting myself 12 days in. Right.
Totally.
So there's always going to be that complex. But have you had any injuries since you started? Major things, or?
Well, I mean, I guess it's semi-major. So after having babies and having no athletic background whatsoever, I do feel like that. I had no core. And I would really crank out those squats, and so I would just use my quads. And so, I had, my psoas.
About that.
So my psoas was mad for a little while.
Right.
But then I got that fixed. And so ever since then, I've actually been quite lucky. Sometimes my knee will be achy if I don't engage. If I don't, make sure my hamstrings are, working. And because my quads want to take over.
Oh,
and
I know.
I have to remind the rest of my body to also help. But I haven't had anything near.
That's great.
Like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
That says something about at least how you're approaching it, and because it's something I talk about a lot, which is and we are athletes. As athletes, we do need to listen to what our body's saying.
Yes.
We do need to hear it and be like, okay, I'm pulling back right now.
Yeah.
Especially on the masters level.
Totally.
Yeah. So let's talk about your competition string. You talked about that first one you did. Now, did you went to a couple locals? Was it just jump right into nationals? Was it?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the first one, and then after I joined with Joe, his spring heroic one.
Oh yes.
So I had been with him, I don't know, maybe even a month or two.
Okay.
And we did that meet, and then that one qualified me I didn't qualify yet. So I did that one, and then I did WSO.
Oh, nice.
That
the first one that you did?
2023.
Was it the one at the PSU or was it the other one?
No, it was the one at the, so he's done the hotel back to back.
Yeah. So the first
one. No, not 2023, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because I started weightlifting in 2024.
Yeah.
And so it was at WSO that I qualified for finals.
Nice.
So I went to finals my first year of weightlifting.
Okay. See, and I laugh because you just don't hear about that.
Well, I mean, as a master's, so
but still,
yeah,
I mean, it's an incredible thing to do because, and the reason why I say that is because there's a thought out there that weightlifting is like this deep, dark, hard sport.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I only think it's that if you make it that.
Totally.
Personally.
Yeah.
But I think that it can be it's a very positive, fun, awesome hobby of a sport.
Yes.
We are not professionals, obviously.
Yes.
But what we're doing is we're building, like you said, you started local, you WSO, and then you went to the finals.
Yep.
How'd you do at finals?
Oh, I mean, I got a total. I remember.
There you go.
Yeah, and that total qualified me to go to finals for the next year.
Awesome.
I mean, I didn't end up needing it because I did more and more. But like that one. So I did well enough for that.
Awesome.
And I think I got maybe I was I don't know, 7th or 9th or something in my weight class.
Yeah.
And then this year at finals, I was 3rd.
Awesome. See, now, and that's really, I heard your story and I saw your performance there and I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Because I want more people to hear about it. It's not easy.
No.
But what it is it's approachable and it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
The sport is such a positive thing. Like I lift in my garage, my kids watch me. They come out there, Jack's like, hey, can I squat, Dad? And I'm like, yeah, you can squat. Let me set up a couple platforms so you can reach the bar. But let's talk about that as far as now that you're in it, you're doing it, you've got a good routine, you love it. How do you balance it? As an adult, as a parent, as you have a career.
Yeah. I think the balance is because I prioritize it. I think that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because if I were to try to balance it and just say, I'm going to place this here because it fits, and if this fits here is no, I make it fit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Yes. Because I love it so much.
Yeah.
It is that fun to me, and it adds that much value to my life that I make it fit. That's key.
And that I love that.
Yeah.
When I relate with that a lot. I talk about, and I really try to work on balance in my life. That balance to me makes sense to me. And I think it kind of equates as happiness. If I can be a balanced person and if I can take care of family, take care of my relationship, take care of my career, weightlift, do all these things and be successful at them, that is that's where I feel rich as a person, right? Money will never get me that. But I ask you that because, the idea that people will be like, oh, I just don't got time. I don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
I understand. Some people don't. And that's okay. And I also understand that it's a hard thing to compute in your brain, but it does take, like you said, some perseverance, some stubbornness.
Yeah.
To be like, no, this is happening.
Yeah. I mean, it is not beautiful.
No.
And so being a single mom who works full time.
Yeah.
I often train at 6 p.m.
And,
in my garage with the kids hollering at me, can you give me this? Can you give me this? It's not uninterrupted.
My kids never do that.
No? Oh, you're so lucky.
No, they do.
Yeah. Yes. And so it's not this beautiful protected time.
No.
Yeah. So, because I work, I go into work and that's not an easy job.
Right.
I mean, it's not hard in the sense, but it's emotion. It's hard in that
it's taxing
on its own. Yeah. So I put effort in there, and then I come home, and then I'm training at 6 p.m. while my kids are 12. We're trying to do dinner at the same time, and then after that, we have to rush to bed because then it's bedtime.
Yeah.
So it's not picturesque
at
all.
No.
But it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and that's the thing is like, we don't have to have, you just don't have to have perfection to do something.
No.
And to think that you're going to do something and have it perfect right away, you kind of set yourself up to fail a little bit. Unless you're like this supreme athlete that can do that. But in life, as a masters, as a lifter, we have families, we have relationships. Like, I'm the same way where, luckily to me, my family is very attentive to it, to where it's like, Dad, are you lifting today? Yes, I'm lifting today. Okay. And so we kind of know the routine. It's like, and then the days that I don't lift, we do a flop. So like, I get home around 4 o'clock-ish, but I'm out in the gym until about 7 o'clock. Usually like, wife is cooking dinner. And then on the days that I'm not, I'm cooking dinner. And I try to get her to do her own thing, but she,
it's hard.
It's hard. But that routine is so key.
Yeah.
And you got to prioritize it. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because there are times that I will get down there and I will have just the absolute most dog shit session.
Yeah.
I'll be in snatches and I'll be like, I am not.
It sometimes feels more often than not.
Yeah. Right. But I really truly believe if you just take it and strip the bar, walk away from that session and say, you know what, I'll be back there tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the consistency of that and to be able to do that only comes if you're prioritizing.
Correct.
Only comes if you're making efforts because you love something you do. I mean, it's the same thing with a job or with kids or anything. We're prioritizing them. And I love that about this sport because I've been doing it 8 years and I'm to the point where I am starting to see those reps stack. And when those reps stack, you start having a little bit of confidence going into it, a little bit more of success going into it, hitting goals that you saw me in my life, right?
Yeah.
That's something I've chased for 5 years.
What?
So like, and that's also about the sport is like, it doesn't come easy and it's not going to be quick.
No.
I went 2 years without ever having a PR. And so it's like, and that can be pretty hard on the psyche, but it really does take priority.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that you said that because just like anything in life, you want to be successful at it. You want to be happy, prioritize it.
Yes. Well, and I'm a better mom. I'm a better employee. I'm a better partner. I'm a better everything.
And that's full circle to what you said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which is it makes life better.
Yes.
So when you say that, I want to kind of dig into that a little bit. When you say you're a better mom, like how does that help? How does weightlifting help you do that?
Well, I think with moms especially, and dads can feel this way too.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But moms especially, we really endlessly give to everyone else. So if there is like another partner in the house, we will give. And then to our children, it's just like it's constantly. It's like the faucet never turns off. It's just we're overflowing all the time. And when I put a little bit back into me, I have more energy. I'm happier. Like those moments of like, giving them more attention feels easier because I gave myself attention.
Right.
Yes.
And that makes a lot of sense. Because we got to take care of ourselves first.
Yeah.
And it's like something we talk about in this house with the kids and everything is, one of our biggest first motto is kindness first. Like we treat people kind first. But the second is take care of your four walls so you can be good to other people. And Alana and I talk about that a lot. And it's, it's about finding things that make you happy as an individual.
Yes.
And that's what this is, right? This is exactly that. So, I think if anybody that's listening to this and could learn anything from this story, it's not only that, it's not like that, you're doing way crazy stuff, but what you did was you had determination.
Yeah.
You found something you love to do and you stuck with it.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from my time in the sport that you stick with it and you have consistency, you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
And you are seeing that. You just hit something today that you have never been, you said you were never under. How much was that?
58 kilos.
58 kilos.
Yeah.
like, like how does that feels good, right?
Yeah.
Like you walk away from that. I walk away from those moments where I'm like, how did I do that? And that's my self-confidence.
Yeah,
like
totally.
lack of confidence.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard to continue to lack confidence when there's evidence. Like this is beautiful, tangible evidence of like, whoa, I am capable. I am strong.
Yeah.
Because you can't deny that.
No, you can't.
You can't deny the weight on the bar.
You got a phone full of training videos.
Yeah.
Like that's all. Like I got kids. I got pictures of my wife, and I got training videos.
Totally.
Maybe some food stuff, but that's it. That's all I have on my phone.
Yeah. And so we're building. Like I heard this quote that was like, "We're building a mountain with layers of paint." So it's like, I love that. It's literally little by little, rep by rep,
it really
day by
is.
day.
Yeah.
And that's what creates it.
That's really good. I think that quote can be put in many aspects of life.
Absolutely.
And that's something that the sport brings is it brings the ability to be humble and say, hey, you're not going to get a PR for 2 years, but you're still going to do the sport.
Yeah. It's still fun.
You made like my second, I think I went to AO1. It was my second competition.
Okay.
And I bombed out.
Yeah.
I bombed out because of an injury, but I wasn't treating myself right.
Yeah.
And I came back and I was talking to that friend Lori, and she goes, I'm going to connect you with Joe.
Okay.
I talked to Joe and he was like, come do my competition. I went and did his competition and it was great.
Yeah.
And I came back and I was like, oh, so you just because you bomb out, you're not bad.
Yes. I have bombed out.
Yeah.
I have.
Talk about that.
Yes.
Like what did that do to you?
Oh, so I think I was sad for like 3 days.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was surprised at how I didn't stay sad for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, this is what I need to fix.
Yeah.
It was just these damn wobbly elbows,
Yep. I know all about that.
Yeah. So, I just didn't stay sad for long. And what was so nice is like Joe afterwards, was just like stayed so positive and was just like, no, you've got this. You've got this. Like, I'm sure he had doubt, like in the back room with me as I kept like reds,
Yeah.
But he did. And then what was so sweet though is after I bombed out, he was like, I'm sorry. He apologized to me.
Wow.
Like, because he said if there was anything that I did that didn't help you get ready, for this, or if I could have done something better, and I just was like, oh no, it just wasn't the day. Yeah. Like it really just, that was it.
That's a very mature mindset because not many people would say that.
Yeah.
That's really great.
I did. I mean, I really felt like shit and I cried.
Yeah.
And like women, when we're weightlifting and we cry, it's not because we're sad. It's because we're really fucking mad. That's the only.
And I don't mean to be sexist, but like men, I show my sadness through anger.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You show your anger through
sadness. Yeah. That's true.
That's
true. Totally. So I cried because I was mad. I was mad at myself. I was embarrassed, and then I just was like, "Oh, that wasn't the end of it. We will do it again."
Yeah.
I am a little bit nervous about going to Masters again.
Oh, really?
Well, just like I can't do it again.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Do this again.
Totally.
But I guess finals showed that, my elbows can stand.
Yeah. Yeah.
WSO, my elbows can stand.
Yes, they can.
So,
yeah, even though WSO had some interesting judges, no shame, shame there.
No, but it definitely changed things for a lot of people.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. What's to this point, what's the most positive, memorable memory you've made in the sport?
Oh.
Do you think? Or what's the biggest accomplishment that you feel the most proud about? Any of that stuff?
Oh, I think there's a few.
Okay.
So I think it is hard for me to pick one.
Yeah.
But I think the one that is at the forefront is when I got 55 kilos for snatch.
Yeah.
Because when I first started, I mean, I was doing the whites, and the whites are 5 kilo,
5 kilo each.
like puppy plates.
Yeah, totally.
So
I
that's
have 2.5 downstairs. Totally.
So that's what I was doing when I first started.
Okay.
And so for me, 55 is just over my body weight. I'm 53 kilos.
Yeah.
And just seeing those like big blues, like I never told anybody that was my dream. Right. I was like, I don't want to be embarrassed and say that's what I want to do and never do it.
Yeah.
So I never told him, but like in the back of my mind, I was like, it would be really cool to do the big blue.
See?
I was like, it'd be so
cool. Yeah.
And so I would say like, oh, I mean, like one day it'd be really cool. Like, what do you, and then I did them. Nice. I did it. I did them.
I love it.
Yeah. So I think that's like the coolest thing of like that. It felt, I really, and I don't mean this like in a self-deprecating way.
Right,
I sincerely thought I would never get there.
Really?
Because it was just, whoa, that is so much weight.
No, I understand.
So I didn't, not like, oh, it wasn't even like, like you'll never get there in like a beat myself up kind of way. Just like that felt so unattainable.
Yeah, totally. But you got there.
But I got there.
That's fantastic.
I know. And so now Joe and I, like, we have big goals.
Yeah.
So.
And he's quick about like, all right, let's go to the next one. Oh, God.
I know. Luckily, he sees something in me that I
I think that's the superpower a little bit. So, okay, let's talk about like where in the sport. Let's see. You talked about kind of your goals, but where do you want to take it? I know we've talked about how it's just a hobby and all that, but do you plan on doing this for a long time? Do you plan on as long as you possibly can, or like is it like I never want to stop, or I'm gonna do it for 5 years? Like, what's kind of your plan with it?
I don't imagine an Amy that would ever not be weightlifting.
No, that's a beautiful answer.
I cannot. Like I think my first ever meet, I saw the older people, just the like little old ladies and little old, going out in their like 80s, just, doing the same weight as me.
But I
was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, and they're just smiling, bopping off the stage, and I was like, oh man. So and with how happy it makes me and how much it, again, adds to my life, I don't see an Amy that doesn't.
That's fantastic.
I feel like, because it has changed me so much.
Yeah.
I do see in the future me coaching in some way.
I see that too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For yourself?
No, for you.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I've noticed that about you in different areas. Mainly on that last meet where I saw you like counting. It just looked natural.
Oh, cool.
The way you communicated with the athletes and stuff. I mean, you're doing it with Harper, right?
Yeah.
And that's who you accounted for?
Oh, well, I was kind of helping Harper.
Okay.
I was doing it for Whitney.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. That's
They were like side by side, so I still was helping. Yeah.
Right. So, but that makes sense when you say that.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. And so I think that like what drives that part is because it's added so much to my life. And 2, because it's way easier to get started than people think.
Yeah.
And it's not, you don't have to be, like when people are like, well, I'm not good enough to compete. It's like, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us were.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think because of those things, I am excited about the idea of giving back at some point.
That's great. Yeah. And I feel the same way as far as like, I don't know how long I'll lift, but I know that I'm going to do it I'm going to push it as far as I can, but I'm never going to leave the sport.
No. And
that's either that looks like coaching or that looks like this podcast being something bigger in the sport or whatever it is. I love the sport and I want it to be a part of my life and I want it to be part of my kids and my family's life. And like they love it just as much as I do. And so it's like, that's a big part of it too. So that's really cool. Well, this has been a great time and a great story, and I really appreciate you taking the time. You came over, got some pizza.
Oh, yeah. I told you, I ate half. I ate half the pizza.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That usually tells me that the food is good.
It was so good. So good, but I do also love to eat. So you fed me well.
You're in the right sport.
Yes.
For sure. I would say if there's anything you would like to leave anybody with as far as like, what do you want them to know about the sport that is like something that you haven't already said?
Mm.
What's like kind of a leaving parting ways of something?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind, and it's probably not new, I've probably said it, but like just that you're way more capable than you think you are.
Yeah.
Because I hear that a lot of like people will be, say like my coworkers or people who I, come in contact with. They're like, "Oh, I could never," and I was like, "You really can, though."
Yeah, no, you could. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got a garage with stuff. Let's go check that out.
Totally.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's really neat. Like I said, I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Oh my God, it's my pleasure.
You came into the home, you met my family, you hung out, we had pizza, and to me, that's a real special thing. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being part of it. And that's pretty much all I got.
It was an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody out there, if they want to follow Amy, where do they find you, Amy?
Oh,
if they want to follow you
my Instagram handle is Hey That's Amy.
Hey That's it. I love that.
But it's mostly just because, like, if I do a goofy thing, I was like, Hey That's Amy.
So we have an interesting thing. Like we do that with my daughter. It's like that's Maggie.
Yes. So my partner now, that's what he would always say. Like if I did something pretty, like, Hey, that's Amy.
I love that. That's perfect. Well, go follow Amy. Check her out. Reach out if you have any thoughts about this, or reach out to me and I'll forward over whatever. It doesn't matter. Just if you ever want to start weightlifting, this is a great inspiration.
Oh,
so thank you very much. And I appreciate this.
Yeah.
And everybody have a great night. Thank you for watching, and adios.